Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been on my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm...
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is Madden 19, and it's the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain. But that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
And a loose football. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had too.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins, and that'll be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And right away, he lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. On play action, Allen. And able to find John Brown. 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 17 carries, 92 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
On 2nd down, Cook. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know they're securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys. In the middle of this D has got to be priority 1.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They give him a gain of 38.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Just like that. Out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The numbers for him from a week ago. 10 carries, 98 yards, and a score.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have another first down and more. And down to the 28-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Allen off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And that is incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw, it's Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emerson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. His throw caught right around the 6.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
they decline it, as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage. Field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
They're still going to go for it on 4th and goal even after the penalty. No sign of the field goal team. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And that's caught by Crabtree for a Bills touchdown. Michael Crabtree, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Cousins now on 2nd down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that?
And it caught it up. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he loses the football a second time. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. To throw is Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt when a few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 3rd down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds.
And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
First down. Here's Cousins. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
They go play action. Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution Has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Linval Joseph able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Forced out to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Room to run inside the 40. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Allen now looks to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Linval Joseph in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Allen off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd down, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 64 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though, a one-handed grab. that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. He's at the 50. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
To the air, Allen, the left side completion to Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Stephen Weatherly able to get him for a loss of about 3.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
Detroit! Detroit!
So Allen's going to look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
That's a good decision there. He was looking, and he was looking, but the coverage was excellent. Nice job to get rid of it and try and find something better on 3rd and goal. He didn't let that clock accelerate and force him into an error.
The Bills on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills continue to pour it on. Hauschka adds the extra point. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. Cousins, incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Taylor. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Cousins now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. On third down, Cousins. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. And still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. And the storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is. And what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Buffalo, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Taking to go. I'm gone. A lot of these lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. Good drip. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds and Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. New Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a these ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a in jail I had. I make you cut off the think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be out. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds and Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my to the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't being friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. Just do my own. Not gonna lie on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I'm spending 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my eggs down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap, got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's time.
I got that check and took off. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds and Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I died. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with to groovy you. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. Derek ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. King of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check and took off. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds and Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.